Drew here. Wanted to talk to you guys about rebuilding the idler arm for a 1949 and 1954 Chevy. So here we are reaming the bushings. You can see that this is a pretty simple setup here. You've got your two tubes there, which have reamed bushings in them, and then there's this center shaft piece which acts like a hinge inside the tube of the part that moves. So the factory service manual, it talks about a couple tools that I would love to have the reamer that they have, but a bushing driver you don't need. My 3/4 inch socket worked just fine for that, and my 12-ton press made it a lot more pleasant than using a brass hammer. So that worked fantastic. Got the bushings in, used a little bit of 5-weight 30 oil to make the process easier, and now I'm on to reaming. So this is the J3189 reamer that the manual talks about, and I looked and looked and looked, and I can't find one of these anywhere. I came close. It wasn't a for sure thing, and it was $156. It wasn't the original, I forget the name of the company that made the tools that Chevy references throughout this book, but this is the 71-year-old service manual, so obviously they know what they're doing. But you can see this reamer, it's what's called piloted. So it has a section, a length that goes ahead of the cutting part that's a smaller diameter, and it puts it through the bottom bushing while it reams the top to keep everything even. Now, unfortunately, again, I can't find one of those. So what I've got here, this is a 9375 reamer, which is obviously wrong, that a family member who works in a machine shop cut down for me to exactly 9225, which is, dead center. The book here mentions, ream it to 0.922 to 0.923. So, I'm 9225 right in the middle. And what I found here is you've got to start. These wrenches, they're on here for leverage. You're not cranking on this. You see that I've got them going in opposite directions, so I could try to stay centered. But what I did is I started this by hand, and look at the bushing. If you start to see it cutting, biased towards one side, or if it's circular, the bottom of where it's cut to is circular but tipped, it's not going to work. So, start by hand, go slow. And the farther you get in, the more this wants to center itself. But of course, if you do it wrong, the more it's going to be crooked as it gets to the bottom bushing. So, so far this is working. I've done this before. It got close, but it was several years ago and a little bit less experience, and I just didn't like the way it came out. I'm going through the front end of the car, so I'm redoing it. And so far this way is working way better. So, basically the purpose of this video is to show you how to do this without a piloted reamer. Again, the J3189 reamer, I would absolutely love to have one, as I'm not planning on getting rid of this car, and I have specialty tools that I've acquired and made, for some purposes. And this certainly isn't that. This is, the wrong reamer, cut to the right size, but the wrong style, and a couple vice grips, but it feels like it's working. So, I'll definitely report back in the comments and let you guys know what I got. But if this helps, like it, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel too. There's going to be tons of videos on, old car stuff like this and new car stuff too. So, again, hopefully it helps. Thanks. Okay, guys, just to follow up as promised, this has absolutely no play in it. It worked out perfectly. I was able to tap in the pin easily, install these basically dirt plates that keep everything in there clean, grease fittings. This, of course, is shimmed up within the specifications of the book, 0.006 inches or less. This worked out great. I wish I could have filmed the whole thing, but I don't have a tripod and a GoPro, so that leads me back. Like, subscribe. If you guys just want to see me do more videos, if you find this stuff interesting, working on this old girl and all the other stuff I do, maybe subscribe to my channel, check out the videos, tell your friends if you think they're interesting or helpful, and hopefully they improve in quality as I get some equipment. Okay? Thanks, guys.